Sağ olun. What's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. what's going on, AutoCam? How are you today, man?
Hey, it's Alex Thomas from Houston Utility and Uses and Uses Source, the one-stop shop for you.
Nice shot. Thank you. I just worked here. It's not mine. But thank you nonetheless. One day. You are the people that make the world great. Thank you, man. I don't know where our air valve is to turn it on. God bless you, be safe, brother. Remember, if you put it back together and have spare parts left over, you built it better. You ain't wrong. rotors. No, we're doing heads. Gotta get the manifolds off. Actually, speaking of which, I should definitely title this differently because of that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but I was gonna put like head gasket on a 2015 GMC.
Don't miss this WNBA season live with YouTube TV. 10 o'clock Central Time.
Better working on vehicles. Maybe before 2000 or after, the new stuff is like 90s% working mechanical. Yeah, I enjoy electrical, and I'm not the greatest at it, so like I like working on newer cars, but it's definitely a lot more complicated. Special tool called beer. I don't see it laying around. Mr. G, I'm almost 1 year sober. October, I'll be 1 year sober. So, no beer for me. Things get a little out of hand. So, no. Be safe. Gotta go. See you around. Thanks for stopping by, guy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. G. For an oil change place and some new vehicles have digital dipsticks. I think that's crazy. Some new cars you can schedule service over the Wi-Fi before you even know you need it. It's true. The BMWs and Audi, well, not BMW as much, Audi for sure. They have digital dipsticks, is what he's talking about, and like they don't have a manual, so you have to start the car, let it run for like 5 minutes, and then you can read it on your instrument cluster of how full your oil is. But if you just did an oil change, you don't know how much oil you put in there. It's really, really bad. So you got to pay attention. Like this thing takes 5.5 quarts. So make sure you put exactly that in there to let it run. But Brit, say Hindi. Sure. Do you think that is going too far? Yeah, I mean, like I understand why they do it. It's so that they can basically ensure that the engines are full before you're starting off with oil. Because a lot of times lube techs, or not even lube techs, some guys will just put like 4 quarts in, start it up, and then see where it's at, and that's kind of preventing you from doing that. Don't strip them, 100%. I see way too many like half-inch drain plugs that people have put a 13 on and they're stripped out, messed up. Don't do that. Alright, I gotta go grab a different tool. Get back.
baseball online, like a supercar, or game day features, like features and stats from the best seat in the house. YouTube TV, try it free. Terms and conditions anytime.
Sure, if these fall out of there. Whoops. Put them back in, otherwise there'll be a gap when we try to smack this up. 2X, no difference. No offense to key owners, but the GDI motors burn oil like crazy. It's not uncommon for people to come in with 1.5 to 2 quarts of oil, and when you open the oil cap, it's smoking. You think maybe check it. How hard is the job you're doing on this vehicle? I don't know. Like, I think all data falls at skill A because I did I'm going to be doing cams, heads, timing chains, you know, the works. So it's not necessarily easy, but if like you learn how to do it the right way, like follow the procedure the first couple times, it becomes pretty easy. And you can find other tricks or have somebody who knows what they're doing show you how to do it. This is actually my first time doing the cams and timing chains on one of these and the lifters, so like there's nobody to teach me. I just been teaching myself the whole job, but it's kind of how the automotive field is. It's alright. Makes me better. The Optima looked nice when they started, but the direction feels wobbly. Yeah, I'm not a big Kia fan, but it's alright. How many hours is it supposed to take? Thank you for answering my question. Of course, man. This job in total, the ticket pays 43. And I think actual labor hours that it's supposed to take is like 45, 48. But that's for somebody who kind of knows what they're doing, so it'll probably take me like 60, 65 hours altogether, all said and done. We're getting there though. 48-hour jobs exist? Oh yeah. They get worse than this. The Ford twin turbo timing chains, just the timing chains, like nothing else included, is 40 hours flat. But yeah, it's true. This one I also am doing a heater core in, so that's like another, well, I've already done the heater core, but that's like another 10, 11 hours on top. So it's 30, 35 for the engine, and then 10 to 15 for the heater core. Like, what I'll get paid, what it'll actually take me is probably 10 to 15 more than that. How's it going, Colin? Thanks for joining in. Torque's head is a little messed up, and I just rounded that freaking head, so now I've got to fix it. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube, but my messages just disappeared. If somebody wouldn't mind sending a message so I could see if it'll reappear. I don't want to have to restart the stream, but I will for you guys. Let me know, let me know. I don't know why it keeps disappearing. Hello? Oh, perfect. Thank you, 2EX. How long have you been working on vehicles? Professionally, about 4 years. And then, like, before that, I used to work out in my grandpa's barn with him. He retired out of Chrysler, so did a little bit of work with him when I was younger. Like out the barn, doing welding and mechanics, but like, I don't know, I didn't really gain any actual experience until I got into the field. Because, contrary to belief, like, did you call it? I did. I had to change it because my chat died, but my first stream, I don't know if it's uploaded yet, but I called it Super Special Saturday stream. But my chat keeps disappearing. Maybe it's because my Wi-Fi is bad, I don't know. But it looks like it's working right now. I gotta go grab a better Torx because this one is like rounded out and just stripped my hole, so gotta fix that. they sabotage your stream because the name was too fire for the outro. You know, that's the only possible explanation. That's all it could be. I agree. I like that. The bolt on the bottom of these, I don't feel like they're they're plastic, so you're not really bending them, you're just moving. They come back. Alright, I gotta run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, like 5 minutes. Don't leave. Yoshimura, keep them entertained. Alright, I'm back. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the super special Saturday stream chat. The main character of the stream is everything wants to save the world. That's Cards became Fisher Price stories. You're the best mod ever, Yoshi. You a real one, dog. I'm taking you to the top with me. I don't know if I want the top. I just want to be able to do this and make a decent living doing it. I love doing this stuff, man. Alright, I'm gonna need everyone to hold all comments and concerns until after this song. We're gonna jam out real quick. I don't care if this isn't your genre, just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. God bless America. I wish people knew a little bit of knowledge about the cars, the guys, computers, God bless America. Awesome. 2 eggs off your friend, a blinker fluid change. I got some free blinker fluid. Sorry about that. I had to text my boss really quick and ask him where our shutoff valve for the air compressor is. Because I am not working without air in the moment. Test to see if someone will laugh or ask questions about those maintenance. Sorry again, had to text my boss back again. Let's add some nitrogen into your tires, sir, they become lighter. Sir, we got that new helium, sir, they become lighter. Sir, we got that new helium for your tires. Makes them bounce. You'll actually float when you go over bumps. Did you know that? Alright, here, back. For couch Alright, that's the last time I'm disappearing, I promise. Let's get these manifolds up. When you text, it makes people disconnect and reconnect gradually from 10 viewers to 45. Yeah, I just realized that. I was thinking about maybe restarting the stream. I don't know. I definitely should not text. I just had to figure that out really quick. That'll be the last time I disconnect, guys. So what's up with the GMC? So what's up with that GMC? A 50-hour job, you said? Yeah, it's 50 hours. I got to do cans, head gaskets, lifters, heater core. I think that's pretty much it. All the stuff that comes with it, like valve cover gasket, takeover gasket. What's your most hated car to work on? And please don't say Volkswagen. I own one. It is Volkswagen. I just did it's like a 6-hour water pump on a Volkswagen. It's a belt-driven water pump, and it sucked. It was terrible. I didn't like it. Audi is up there. Audi, there's just so many covers to take off. The one thing I do like about Audi is that like it never rusts. So like everything comes loose. It might be really tight, but you don't have to worry about rust and seized bolts. Can you make more horsepower on the Baby Max? I honestly don't know much about like adding horsepower and performance, Cooper. I wish I did. Audi and torque bits get annoying. That's true too. First I saw was the Fiat 500. Actually, I haven't worked on many Fiats. I worked on a couple Saabs, and those were rough. Pop that steering shaft out of my way. Parts super expensive, that is true. I wouldn't like to own them. Yoshi, I think I might restart so that YouTube will recommend me in the For You page again, because I've been disconnecting. I doubt they'll recommend me. So if you guys want to sub, I'm gonna be live in like less than 2 minutes. Just so you guys know. Just restart. Just so YouTube can recommend me.